Woosah. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Play Hard and Love Big Radio, the official podcast of Spotted Dog Yoga and Stand-Up Paddle Company here in Folsom, California. Check us out at spotteddogyoga.com. Play Hard and Love Big Radio is dedicated to bringing you the inspiring people and their stories so that you leave excited to go out and live your life full of purpose. And we have two awesome guests with us today. I'm super stoked to have you two on the show. We've got Kevin and Lauren Bean. They're the owners and coaches at CrossFit Folsom Lake. What's up, Lauren? And what's up, Kevin?
How's it going?
What's up, Nick?
What's up? It's so good to have you on the show. Have you two done a podcast before?
No.
First timers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there's a first time for everything. I'm stoked to have you on this show. It's been really fun getting to know you, Lauren, inside the studio there at Spotted Dog and having you come in and do our classes. And we're just at the beginning stages of our relationship. And Kevin, this is the first time that we've had an opportunity to meet, but I can already tell that I like you a lot, man. One thing that we have in common is we have boys. Katie and I have 3 boys.
Okay.
Kevin and Lauren have 2 boys. Lauren, why don't you tell us a little bit about your 2 boys?
They are 9 and 11 years old, and they love moving. And I think it was, we had this mindset when the kids were younger is tire them out before they tire you out. And so we're constantly just playing with the kids for the most part, even now, outside, even being 9 and 11. So just playing with them, moving their bodies as much as possible. And we know, even they know at their age that moving makes them feel good.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I always wonder if I'm wearing my kids out or if I'm making them stronger. And I think it's a kind of a combination of both,
Yeah.
It's got to be super fun. So what kind of activities specifically are you doing with them, Kevin?
I mean, they do organized sports for sure. So baseball and football are 2 favorites. So those keep us pretty busy. But even outside of that, days they don't have practice, we're in the backyard playing catch, playing spike ball, riding bikes, go Tahoe a lot, go snowboarding. Anything we do to keep them busy. And we like to try and balance, things that they get to do on their own with their sports teams and things that we get to do with them. Going mountain biking with them, snowboarding with them, things that we get to do together as a family are also really fun.
Yeah.
Man, that's so clutch. I'm curious too, do you ever have the World Wrestling Federation moments in your house?
We've tried to avoid that a little bit. So our older son is a big kid. He's big and strong. So like at his age group, he's not even I wouldn't say he's even close to being chubby. He's just a big, thick kid. And little brother is he's tall and lanky. He's like I was when I was a little, very scrawny. Mm-hmm. And if they wrestle, it would not go well. Yeah. So we try to keep that peace as much as possible to avoid any issues there. Like my brother and I were pretty similar size. So we definitely got in a little tussles here and there. But with our 2 boys, I think it would end very badly.
You might end up with a few holes in the wall here and there.
Yeah. Wrestling's an outside activity for sure.
Well, I'm glad that you 2 have sorted that out. Maybe it's because our kids are a little bit younger. We're in and around a little bit more snow, but there's definitely some moments when I wonder when there's going to be a hole in the wall or when a door is going to get knocked over, or someone's going to be wrecked, Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Get real good at drywall real quick.
Yeah. Well, I'm not good at it yet. So that's a sign of things to come, maybe. You're a pretty big guy, Kevin. How tall are you?
I'm like 6'4", 220.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Not pretty big.
The first time I met Nick, he said, "You're a lot taller than I thought you would be." I was like, well, how tall do you think I was? But anyways, I'm about 5'9". So we're big people, I would say, biggish people.
Yeah, we're not small.
Yeah. No, you are not. I mean, no one. And here I was having you adjust the camera so you had a little less headspace, But no, that's right. I remember that, Lauren, when I saw you. I don't know why. It's funny how you can make assumptions in life just based off absolutely nothing.
Well, it was, the picture that we have of each other for the contact on the phone, and that was probably why.
Yeah. That's right. I could just see the little difference in the size. Maybe I thought, Kevin, you were more like 6'2" or something. Yeah, for sure. Have you 2 had a chance? I'm maybe not you, Kevin, but Lauren, have you had a chance to meet Katie yet? I can't remember.
No.
Okay. Yeah, she's Katie and I usually come back together. I think when she was 6 months pregnant, something like that, we decided just that I would start coming back so she could just take care of herself with our last little baby. So she'll be coming back starting in June again. So you'll get a chance to meet her, which will be really cool.
Awesome.
But I think we're pretty proportional in size too. I'm about 6'2", and she's like 5'6", 5'5", something like that, you know? And one of the things that we were talking about today is how great it is to meet another couple that are business owners. And I'd like to know more about CrossFit Folsom Lake and how it ended up coming to be. Like, how did you get into CrossFit, and how did that whole business start to become a thing for you?
Yeah, there's a long story and the short story. I'll try to give you the abbreviated version a little bit. I mean, playing hockey, I'm super into sports. Went to college, thought I wanted to, at a certain time I was finishing up my undergrad, I wanted to work in sports somehow. I wasn't sure how to make it work. But I ended up going to USF to get my master's in sports management with the intention of working in a front office for a professional sports franchise.
Oh, cool.
The initial goal was to work for the Giants. I've always been like a numbers nerd, and baseball is all lots of statistics and stuff. So it was kind of easy avenue there, and ended up not getting a job with the Giants. So I was very close to like the final couple interviews there. They liked me enough to refer me to a guy who worked for the Oakland Raiders at the time, and he was a graduate of the same program I went to. Interviewed with him, he hired me, and I worked in football for a couple of years, doing football operations for the Raiders. Had a lot of fun doing that. Saw a short ceiling there, and wanted to figure out a way I can continue on doing what I was doing. At the time, I was working out at my local Globo gym, we call him, local Globo gym. And there's a guy there who was working out, and I liked what he was doing. He was doing Olympic lifting, snatches, clean and jerks. I was like, can you teach me more? I was just learning how to do that stuff, and I wanted someone to help me out. So he taught me the basics for a couple months. And then when we finished our sessions, I was like, what do I do now? He said, well, check out this website. It's called CrossFit.com.
Huh.
And I was like, all right. So it's like 2008, 2009. I was like, look at the website. There's a workout there. And all right. And then he's like, I'll do it with you. So we started working out together. So he became like from a mentor to like a friend. And we did all these workouts together for a while. I ended up getting my CrossFit Level 1 certification and becoming a coach at the gym that I was working out at when the Raiders deal kind of ended up stopping. So started doing personal training for a few years, like 5 years where we're in the Bay. That went from being, when I first started, it was 5 hours a week, then 10 hours a week to 40 plus hours a week really quickly.
Wow.
And I was having a lot of fun, making money and being successful, and got to kind of adjust my schedule as I saw fit, and basically got to kind of work for myself. Had the overstructure of a company that we were working for, but I had a lot of freedom to do what I wanted to do at the time. And then when we decided to move up here, it wasn't really quite viable for me to take a job as a trainer up here because the rates were probably half of what we were charging in the Bay Area. So I took a job as a fitness manager. I was running the training department at 24 in Folsom for a little while there, and it was not
a couple months.
Yeah, maybe months. It was maybe 6 months. It was not a very fun company to work for. Yeah. So that's the first time I've ever had a job where I didn't enjoy it.
Kind of like corporate, like feeling.
Yeah, but just very outdated. There's a reason they filed for bankruptcy a few years ago. Like, it's just not a well-designed company.
Yeah.
So I ended up quitting and working for a couple of random CrossFit gyms in the area because I had my CrossFit cert. I've been doing CrossFit since 2008, and I was kind of just picking and choosing, coaching a few classes here and there. And then one of the gyms we were working for, after a few months of working with them, they asked me if I would want to buy them out. So we ran the numbers and figured out what a reasonable price was. We gave an offer, and we ended up settling eventually in April 2017. We took over that gym and been running it since. So we're about to have our 8-year anniversary coming up at the end of this month, April 1st technically, but we're having our little party on March 29th, and then get to celebrate 8 years of doing this now.
Wow, that's super exciting. And how about you two, Lauren? When did you come into the mix? How long have you two been together?
It's so
crazy how like time flies and it's hard to remember, right? I know.
No, actually the only reason I know our date is because when Kevin and I first started talking or hanging out, I was having trouble with finding like my niche at the gym because I also played sports coming out of high school, I think a lot of adults are like, oh, yeah, I played sports in high school. And then what do you do after? Right.
Yeah.
So I was very much the person who was like, I'm going to read the directions on the machine. I'm going to stay in the women's area. I'm going to hit up everything in this circle, maybe 2 times. Anyways, I didn't know what I was doing. I'd get bored at the gym. And anyway, I met Kevin, and he was telling me about CrossFit. And again, we just were getting to know each other at the time. So we've been together for 15 years because that's how long I've been doing CrossFit. So Kevin told me about CrossFit, and I went into a CrossFit gym in Pleasanton. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen because gyms didn't look like that at the time. It was just a warehouse. It wasn't anything fancy, but there were people there and they were nice. And what are these things that they're doing? I didn't understand any of it, but I went to CrossFit to try it out. And that the little competitiveness that came with it and just the overall well-rounded fitness that I was getting out of it was like, this is all I need. I don't need to think. I'm just coming in, showing up, working out with great people. I'm getting strong and I'm getting fast. This is cool. And so that was how I fell in love with CrossFit. And I immediately got my L1. That's a level 1 certification for CrossFit to become a coach, and became a coach at my first gym. But it was never my main gig. It was always something that I had done on the side. But now at the gym, I basically am supporting with operations. So Kevin's still main coach and stuff, but I would say that I'm just supporting in a way to make sure that where people are coming to the gym, they're staying at the gym, they're happy. We have community events planned. So that's pretty much what I can support with at the gym.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's so great. I'm excited to get in and do a session with you. It's going to be fun. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of CrossFit? And also, you talk about an L1, but what is required to become a CrossFit coach?
Yeah, so CrossFit in general, we're just going to try and take the best practices of any health and fitness regime and combine them into one. So I think you can go with their description. They have, the movements that they use, their nutrition recommendation, and all that stuff. It all boils down to, let's try and find the best things that we can do and see how we can combine them in the most logical, efficient way possible to get a well-rounded fitness routine. I compare my new clients, say, if you want to be a world-class triathlete, you're going to have great cardio capacity, but your average world-class triathlete isn't going to be able to deadlift their own body weight. Usually they're not very strong. Mm-hmm. On the opposite end, take a world-class power lifter, get these guys who can deadlift, squat 800, 900 pounds. Great. You ask that guy to go for a 1 mile jog, his heart's going to explode. Mm-hmm. So our goal is to have this happy, well-rounded medium where we can do a little bit of everything, be strong, have some conditioning capacity, be able to do some basic gymnastics, do some pull-ups, push-ups, and be generally fit. So specialist in nothing, but really a good generalist. That's kind of the happy middle that we're aiming for. So want to be strong and fit in general.
Yeah. And from what I understand, CrossFit is very much functional movements, right? Like movements that are going to help you in your everyday life and all those sorts of things, similar to yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you say that, like, beyond the physical realm of what you've done with CrossFit and the strength you build and the flexibility you built and whatnot, beyond that physical realm, what would you say that it's done for you in your life, like in your mental mindset, your approach to living life, all that stuff?
A common saying from the founder of CrossFit is the biggest adaptation happens between the ears. The mental toughness, resiliency of being able to push yourself a little bit more than you thought was capable. Finding out, you can lift 5 more pounds than you thought that week before. Mm-hmm. You can get 1 more extra rep in if you're moving a little bit faster, and you surprise yourself with what you're capable of doing. I get people regularly who, when they start, they're struggling to squat 5, 10, 15 pounds, and then they stick with it consistently for 6 months, a year, and they're squatting 85, 95, 100 plus pounds, and they're just blown away. They thought, 6 months ago, I thought I could never do this. and they're just so encouraged by what their body can actually be capable of. And that's the biggest thing we love seeing too is, a lot of people don't know what they can achieve until they actually challenge themselves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if we approach it gradually and incrementally, there's so much people can do they never thought they could do before.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Lauren. What about
Yeah,
you?
on that note, I think for CrossFit, at least for me, has given me the confidence, a lot of confidence, not only just about myself, but my abilities. I feel like it gives me the courage to try new things too, because I'm like, it is the well-rounded programming, it is the well-rounded movements that I could be decent at pretty much almost anything. And so that is another huge factor, I would say, in addition to the mental game too. And then we experience that here at Spotted Dog too. There's many times where I feel like I can't hold a certain position any longer. I need to come out of it. But that's where we hone in a little more, dig a little deeper, and know, like, this is temporary, and I'm going to be better. Yeah.
Yeah, it is so like that, huh? The biggest adaptation we can make is between our ears.
Yeah.
Like that's it's interesting how easy it can be to limit ourselves just based off what we think is possible, or maybe even like, I don't know, get like what we've been shown as possible. In some ways, I feel like people, like in my experience of personal training and whatnot, they'll like come in and they sometimes they're so just overwhelmed by the environment that they can't comprehend the words of the teacher to even understand which leg is their right leg or which leg is their left leg. There's just so much going on, and they're so disconnected from their body that the first few times it's like messy, and like in a good way, in a really good way, because people are kind of trying to figure it out. But like for some people, like the possibility of just getting connected to their body is something that could really shift their entire life, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious too. I know Lauren and I talked a little bit about this, but for people who are considering trying CrossFit and maybe like have a preconceived idea of what it is, like obviously all of you listeners out there now, you can tell like that these two are here for your overall health, and they want to create something for you that you can do for a long period of time, that's functional and great for your mind, your body, and your spirit through CrossFit. But what are the steps for somebody who's brand new that wants to come in? What is the first thing that they would do with a coach or with you, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, every CrossFit gym is independently owned, so the way different gyms approach it is different. Well, we've refined it over the years, done different things. I come from a personal training background, so that one-on-one setting is very comfortable for me. What I do for all my new clients now, we meet one-on-one to go over their general training background, what they've done previously, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what do they want to achieve? Like, are we even a good fit for them? If you want to be a world-class bodybuilder, I'm probably not the right gym for you. If you want to compete in World's Strongest Man, I'm probably not the right gym for you. And I'll point people in different directions if that's what they're really looking for. So I want to know if we can actually help them or not. But from there, I want to go over their injury history, their training background. I take people through a movement assessment where I look at their ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and spine range of motion. That kind of gives me a little crystal ball as to what movements we probably should avoid in the short term. What can we replace them with so they still get a safe but effective workout? And then long term, if you have some limitation in knee, hip, shoulder, whatever it is, how can we get you back to that full range of motion? For most people, if you're limited now at whatever age you are, in the next 10, 20 years, it doesn't magically get better. It usually gets worse. And so we want to have people have the ability to do whatever they want to do as long as they want to do it. But if you have an old shoulder injury from college and you haven't done anything, your range of motion is small now, it's only going to get more and more and more limited as the years go on. So we try to give them things they can do before, during, or after class that will help improve that range of motion so that they can have the opportunity to do whatever movements they choose to do. So that's always step one, make sure they're going to work out safe and effective. For people who are brand new to the gym, if they don't have a lot of experience with barbell, dumbbell, all that stuff, I want to teach them how to do the basic movements we do in the gym before they jump into a class. My whole idea is I want to teach you how to swim before I put you in the pool.
No
I
doubt.
don't want to just throw you in the pool and say, good luck. Actually, it was good. Aaron came today and wanted to jump into a class, and I told him I don't really do that. So I met with him met with him first to go over his injury history, his training background, and we did a movement assessment. He's got some very tight ankles from an old ankle injury, things like that. So,
Yeah.
but we knew how to modify his squats for class, and it made sure that he's going to be set up for long-term success versus just one really hard workout and then you're injured and back on the shelf. So that's not really the goal. I want to make sure they're going to work out safely. So I do some one-on-one workouts for new people, teach them how to back squat, deadlift, clean and jerk, kettlebell swing, how to modify and scale push-ups, pull-ups, and then a couple of small CrossFit style conditioning workouts to slowly kind of dip their toe in the water versus just jumping in head first and hoping for the best.
Yeah, I think that's really important for people. You know, you have to set them up right. And tell me what you all think about this. I think in this day and age, what's really becoming present for me in marketing and just working with people in the service industry, that I think what's missing the most is a level of personalization. Like, I feel like, you know, you get on social media and you can just scroll all day. Like, when you got to see some like 200 posts of something before you decide to take some sort of action in some way, shape, or form, you know? But I feel like that there's a level of personalization that is being missed by a lot of places and a lot of people. And that's what it sounds like to me that you're doing. I love that. It sounds like you like Aaron came in there. He's like, I want to do a class. You're like, hey, let's take care of you. Let's get you set up right.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so that he's comfortable, he feels good with you. He gets the most out of the classes when he goes in there from this point forward. Like, I like that. And I think that that's got to make people feel really good. What do you think, Lauren?
I do. I mean, I feel like to us, like I said, we've tried out many different ways of how to onboard people. And this feels right. So one of the things that I focus on after Kevin meets with a client and they are signed up is their length of engagement, especially if they aren't new to CrossFit. It's hard to create any new habit, right? So what I work on is supporting with checking in. Great job making it to these 2 classes during the week. How are you feeling? You know, lots of check-ins for the first 8 weeks to build a strong habit of making it continuously to class and really turning it into a lifestyle.
Oh, that's really huge. So you like kind of, you grab a hold of them there and you're like their accountability partner.
Yes.
In a way, right? Like, and
Yeah.
maybe their support crew in a way too.
We call it a client success manager.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice. Lauren, are you the client success manager?
So
Or director of smiles.
Yeah, I'm the director of smiles, actually.
Even better. Yeah, you got that going. Good.
But yeah, I started out in that position. Then I have someone who does that job now that I still support her with. But yeah, that was the whole main goal is you want to get in here. Let's keep you in here because, you know, things in life we get caught up in work being too stressful. I got to make it to baseball practice with the kids. People aren't taking time for themselves. And so I run attendance reports. I give you a call. Hey, where you been? So, so I am a little bit of an accountability coach.
Yeah, no, that's really neat and amazing that you do that for people all the way through. Like, what I get from you is that that CrossFit Folsom Lake is really a service-based business, and you two really care a lot about your people, which is amazing. And that being said, Spotted Dog Yoga and SUP people, the community there at the yoga studio that's listening to this podcast, you're going to want to check out a cool event that we're doing. Lauren, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. It's going to be at the end of the month. It's going to be the 30th of March at 9 a.m. And Kevin's actually going to be coaching that class. So I'll have him explain what he would go over with, because this would be a little different than in a one-on-one setting. So what it would look like for a handful of people new to CrossFit is...
Yeah, so we do just a simplified workout. The goal is to make it as non-intimidating as possible and show people that you can get a very effective workout. It doesn't need to crush you. You don't need to use crazy heavy weights. So we'll do a simple workout, a couple of strength movements, and then we'll do a little bit of conditioning workout. Nothing crazy over the top. It's kind of go at your own pace. You can go slow if you want to. You can push if you're feeling great and want to challenge yourself. But it's the whole intent is for you just kind of get a feel for what we do on a daily basis And when people finish that, if they're more interested and want to continue on, we could talk about setting up a one-on-one. But it's really just get them a feel for what it is. And the most common response when we finish is like, oh, that wasn't as like crazy as I thought it would be. Like challenging, yes, but like not. People imagine the common one here is people think we're flipping tires and dragging chains and some sort of like marine boot camp style workout. It's like, no, we exercise, just we work hard relative to our current fitness level. So
yeah,
ego and bad coaching are the things that are dangerous. If they take care of the ego, we'll take care of the coaching, and we'll be all good to go.
Oh, I like that. Ego and bad coaching can be dangerous. That could be a t-shirt. Or definitely a post for sure. Yes. Yeah. So, hey, everybody that's listening to this in that Folsom area, if you're already going to CrossFit Folsom Lake, or if you're from Spotted Dog Yoga and Sup, there's a free session with Kevin and Lauren over at CrossFit Folsom Lake on the 30th of March at 9 a.m. And, in the show notes for this podcast, I'll put a link to where you can go sign up. So go sign up and do it and go try these people out. I think you'll really enjoy it. I wish I was going to be in town for it, but I've made a promise to you, Lauren, when I get an opportunity, I'm in town, I'm going to come in and see if Kevin can work on my weak ankles. I got some weaknesses in a lot of different places for sure. Something that's interesting to me is the kettlebell workouts. I really like the concept of that. My cousin's really into it right now, and he keeps messaging me about how I need to get some kettlebells going. What's your take on kettlebells? I know you do some of it there, but what do you like about them?
It's a tool in the toolbox. I mean, there's lots of different tools, and I think if you're a carpenter, you like hammers. If you're a dentist, you like scalpels or whatever, scrapers for your teeth. Like everyone has their tools they like. Kettlebell's a tool. Kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells, jump ropes. They're all great tools, and our goal is to use them all in conjunction. So there's no one that's like better than the other. Barbell's not better than a kettlebell. Dumbbell's not better than a barbell. Like it's just all different tools, and we try to use them all to the best of our abilities in modalities that make sense for general fitness. So, but I think when I was younger and newer to CrossFit, I was more dogmatic, where it was like, if you don't do what we do, you suck and you're a loser, and we're the best, and anything else is wrong. But now, if you like to do yoga and that makes you happy and you enjoy life, then do it. If you like playing with kettlebells and doing flips and stuff and clean and jerks and squats, heck yeah, go get a good workout with your kettlebell. Like, do I think it's the end all be all and the only thing you got to do? No, I think if you want to be well rounded, there's other things you can mix in there for sure. But if that's what you like, then do it. Because that's really whatever you enjoy doing that will keep you moving, keep you strong, keep you fit and healthy. That's really the golden ticket. Find whatever you like to do and do it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I am, and I also, part of the reason that I feel so strongly about partnering with you, there's a lot of different reasons. I just like you as people, and the limited amount of time that I've had to meet and be with you, Lauren and Kevin. I just feel like we think in the same way. We have a similar grain of pattern in the way that we live our lives. When I look at what you're doing at your box there, the CrossFit box, I feel like the culture and community you're building is very complementary. But then to go back to what you're saying there, like all the different tools in the toolbox, like I really always want to encourage people to get out and to have different modalities in which they're moving their body. Hey folks, if you're not feeling right, or if you're in a lot of pain, Back to Health Chiropractic is the place to go. You might not realize it, but neck and back pain are often the last symptoms to show up, and they can fade before the real problems are solved. That's why at Back to Health Chiropractic, they start with a high-tech new patient exam to get to the root of the issue. Then they create a personalized care plan that's safe, effective, and more than just a quick fix. If you're ready to feel better and move better, go see Dr. Ron Sims and his associates at Back to Health Chiropractic. Check them out at backtohealthsac.com and make sure you let them know that you heard about them from Play Hard and Love Big Radio. And, for us, like we've done yoga for 15 years and we have a specific style that we teach that works really, really well. And Katie, and even though we do yoga, as much as we can, we also enjoy lifting weights and jumping rope. I mean, jumping rope sounds like so much fun. My kids got jump ropes for Christmas. I'm like, I just makes my cheeks light up. I want to go in the garage and hit that. I want to go do some pull-ups. Like, you're motivating me through this interview, but I think it's really important for people to get out and to not only try those different modalities, but also to experience different communities and cultures and meet new people and to combine and to work together. And so I'm stoked for this partnership that we've got. But I do want to circle around, and I don't want to miss this because I think this is one of the most important parts for me to share with a lot of people out there is the value of working as a partnership within your business. So Kevin and Lauren, you two are working together, and it seems like you both have your different roles and whatnot. And I'm curious how that experience has gone, how it's developed, and how it's helped you and what it's done for your relationship.
I can take that one.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy at first, really, because, I had, for the first 7 years of Kevin running the gym all by himself, I was very much like, you should do this. You should do that. Why are you doing that? And it just, just from afar, right? Then when I was like, oh, this is my only thing to do, I need to find a better way to communicate in a way that's respectful to his vision also, because he has a great vision and he's stuck to it through all of the trials and tribulations that we've had, over the last 7 years. And so anyway, that being said, I think for our relationship, it has only made it better. I was just telling someone last night, like, it wasn't in the plan for me to work at the gym, but it worked out beautifully because I understood how much stress or duress he would be under. And I feel like I could kind of find the holes and fill them in that way, not only like at the gym, but also at home, because it was like, I know you've had a long day. Let me help you out here. And it goes vice versa, not just me supporting him. He's also supporting me in that way. But honestly, I feel like I have just fallen even more in love with Kevin over the last year. So I've only been working at the gym full time for like 14 months.
Yeah.
So just it's great. And actually Kevin's parents own a business together too. They've owned a business together since 82,
40 plus years.
Yeah. A very cabinetry company out in the Bay Area. And
No
so
kidding.
we get to see, like, seeing them and how they're interacting and how they, complement each other, not just at the business, but outside of it, is, I mean, it's a partnership, right? With your spouse, whether you get to have the opportunity to work together or you don't. And I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you say, Kevin?
I like this. Yeah, bringing up my parents too. It's like always having that example. I remember growing up, people all the time like, "Wait, your parents work together?" And it's like mind blowing to them. And they literally work in like the same office, like in chairs, like just right next to each other. They're together all day long at work. They come home, they're together, and they're coming up on 45, almost 50 years of marriage now. I don't know. They're way up there.
That's amazing.
And yeah, they still love each other and they enjoy traveling with each other. And so hearing people think that was wild when I was growing up, I never quite understood it. Then I got older, I kind of saw like, people have different dynamics in their relationship. But it was great knowing that that's, to me, normal, to be married to someone that you love completely, be able to go through challenges, personal life and business, navigate those together, have conversations that might be hard at times, get through things, and still just be in love. Yeah. It's really cool. So it's having that example was very helpful, knowing that in my mind it's normal and real. And then having Lauren help me out, it's been tremendous because I think we have that symbiotic relationship where the things that I'm not good at, she excels with, and the thing that she needs help with, I'm comfortable there. So there's ways we can kind of balance off each other and take things off each other's plate and make it all work really well.
Yeah. A question I get asked a lot was, aren't you sick of being with him all day long? And the answer is no. I can't get enough. So
And
yeah,
we're not together all day,
we're
every day.
not. We're not. Yeah.
Like I'll go to the gym and coach a couple classes. She'll maybe stay home in the office and get some admin things done, and then I'll come back home and we're together. So it's not like we're just stuck each other's side 24/7. But either way, still we're all good.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, and I see it, and I feel it from you guys. That's amazing. And for us too, what's been great is being able to have more time with our kids.
No, gosh.
I imagine that's been as a relevant comment for you too, huh?
Yeah. Our goal is to work towards our perfect day. And our perfect day is to be able to spend time with each other. Like really it's about getting to be able to move our bodies, having some alone time, and then doing something like either mountain biking or snowboarding. The kids didn't have school last Friday for parent teacher conferences, and it's 11:30 a.m. and all four of us got to be at home at the same time. I didn't have to plan for any someone to watch my kids or have to take them anywhere. We just got to be together, and it is truly, truly a gift. Truly a gift.
She's a teacher for 13 years.
12
12
yeah.
years. And there were times where it felt like she had to give so much more energy to other people's kids. And then she'd get home and be tired and not have as much energy for our kids and our family. And so now having the space and time and mental bandwidth to give all your energy to your kids, it's been really good.
Yeah, totally. Wow. It made me think like this winter, Katie started skiing. The boys have been skiing. My older two boys, Owen and Sawyer, have been skiing the last 2-3 years, but Katie got into it. And I think 8 different Fridays, we're like, okay, it's Friday, we're going skiing. So we go, so we did 8 in a row, something like that, where we went up and we went skiing and just unplugged. And those moments like that, similar to the one you're talking about, Lauren, it's like, wow, I'm so grateful that we decided to take the plunge and to be entrepreneurs and to create a business, because, well, I mean, people don't see everything that goes into creating a business. First and foremost, there's a lot that goes into it. It's a challenging thing to do. I mean, you're constantly on. You have a vision. You're both of you and me. We are visionaries, and we care about people, and we're passionate about what we're doing, and we have purpose around what it is that we're doing, which means that it's sometimes hard to turn that off. And it can be mentally and physically exhausting in a lot of different ways, and frustrating and all the things, and so people don't see that. But with all that being said, it's still one of the most gratifying professions that I could have ever gotten into. I'm so grateful that we could take a Friday off and go skiing, and just be with each other and to unplug and to have trust in the people that we've hired and the culture that we built, that it's going to carry itself, and that we're not reliant on having to be somewhere at a specific time all the time, and so I think it's been pretty neat like that, that being said, I mean, I think it's vitally important for people nowadays to support local businesses and the people that are in the community that are out there grinding and sharing their purpose like you two are.
Yeah, I do feel I'm so in agreement with that. And it's so, if you can find like a spot where you could feel the love and this person really does care about this community, or really does care about the best soup that they're making, or the best cup of coffee, or whatever it is, heck yeah, I want to support that person. They're doing the thing that they're good at, and they're bringing joy to the community. So yeah, I'm so in agreement with that.
Yeah, got to get out there and support the local businesses. One of my favorite local businesses doesn't play into my nutritional plan, but Snooks is one of my favorite. Oh my gosh, Snooks candies. I'm like, oh gosh, if I go down to Sutter Street ever, I'm down there, and especially if I'm with my kids, all they want to do is go in there and get ice cream. I'm like, all right, man, so let's do it.
Everything's good in moderation.
Everything's good in moderation.
You gotta hit up the Snooks.
That's it. That's it. How what are some of your favorite local businesses other than Spotted Dog Yoga and Sup and CrossFit Folsom Lake?
Kevin and I really enjoy Milestone restaurant in El Dorado Hills. Love Milestone. And there is, I'm drawing a blank on the name. I've been there so many times. There's a great coffee shop off of Sutter Street near Karen's Bakery. that I love going to, and Temple, that's right across the street from your spot, is so great. Also, love that coffee spot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to get down to Sutter Street and check out that unnamed coffee spot.
Sociology.
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 Hmm.
They have great food there too. Great coffee and great food.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Have you guys ever been to Mandero's?
Not yet.
Do you know Mandero's? That's probably one of our favorite places to go chow down. And
We were further when we first moved here, and we went on like a Friday, and it was so busy we couldn't even like get in. We're like, we'll try it again, and I think it just never worked out.
Yeah, that
But
place
it's always
is
been
busy.
like we'll check it out sometime for sure.
Yeah, you have to put that on your list of the local businesses. I think it's it's really neat to get out and try different places, and then but it's funny too when you find the places that you love, how easy it is just to kind of go back to those same ones all the time.
It's a gamble. When you go somewhere new, it's always like, I'm sure it might be great, but what if I order something I don't like it? And it's like, the waste of a night out.
I know, you got to really be willing to take a risk in that situation, especially when your belly's calling at you.
Totally.
Oh, that's so funny. Did you know that California's electrical grid was designed for a population size from over 100 years ago? Today, there's too much congestion during the day from solar users generating power, and too much congestion in the evening when the sun goes down and households need electricity. A new program was created to address this issue by providing more homes with solar panels and batteries to help stabilize the grid. The program is fully funded, meaning homeowners can get solar and battery systems at no out-of-pocket costs. This setup leads to lower bills and a consistent capped rate for your power year-round. Find out if your home qualifies by contacting the Eldorado Solar Dude at eldoradosolardude.com. Pat or one of his team members will help you explore the different options for your house. And don't forget to let them know that you heard about them from Play Hard and Love Big Radio. One of our teachers goes to CrossFit Folsom Lake, Nazanin. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she even teaches over at CrossFit Folsom Lake once a week or something like that, right? Once a week?
About twice a month, she'll do a yoga class.
2 times a month. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. So did she say, hey, Lauren, you should come with me sometime? Or how did that end up happening where you came in and started doing classes with us?
Actually, so we do this thing in our Facebook group called Bright Spot Fridays. We try to highlight something great that's going on for our week instead of complaining about. It's very easy to complain. We're trying to highlight great things. Cool. And so one of our members actually said, I went to Spotted Dog Yoga. Her name's Heather. I went to Spotted Dog Yoga. Naz, encouraged me to go there, and it was so great. And I was like, I didn't know that she taught there. I knew nothing. And I was like, let me go try that out. At the time though, I was kind of like checking out different gyms to understand onboarding process and how can I like take any of this into our gym and use it. And so I was kind of like experimenting also to see how does this feel. It's also, I think for me, it was like, how uncomfortable is it going into a new spot? That was like a big thing in trying to understand how can I make that easier for other people too. So one of our members actually came to you. She raved about it. And then I came in, I think the next week, and then never left.
That's a cool perspective though. I mean, you threw yourself in the beginner's mindset or beginner's shoes, right?
Yeah, because it's been 15 years, since I started CrossFit. And I remember my first class that I went to, we used to do the same warm up every single time. And part of it was a 400-meter run, which is a quarter of a mile. And I had played sports, gone to the gym. I looked pretty fit. I couldn't last the quarter-mile run. And then there was a 70-year-old man named Sam in the class, and he crushed me on pull-ups. And he didn't even look like he was in shape either. He crushed me on pull-ups. He crushed me in the warm-up, and I was like out of breath in the warm-up. And so anyway, it's been a long time since I was like put through that. So I think it's good, especially mentality wise, like how welcoming is the environment? That's a huge, huge factor. And how welcoming are the people that are there? And so that is, it was just a good thing for me to remember what it feels like.
And since you've been coming in and doing quite a bit of practicing at the studio, what have you noticed with your body?
Stability. So I had a little bit of stability overhead that I could have improved. So I would say my stability and balance especially.
Hmm.
I had already done, stretching at least, for 15 minutes a day. But my balance has tremendously improved. I noticed it in snowboarding a lot. Yeah.
Where you guys go snowboarding when you get up there?
You know what? We typically will flip flop like years, icon, epic, icon, epic. And so this
Yeah.
year we had epic, North
Or
Star,
starting Heavenly,
Heavenly. We hit up
Kirkwood.
Kirkwood.
But last year we had the icon, so we would go Alpine and Squaw, but we go to Alpine mostly.
Alpine Meadows is my favorite.
Yeah. So probably maybe flip back next year. But yeah, it's just good to get mixed up so we don't get stuck doing the same thing over and over.
Oh, that's so cool. That's a great way to approach it. I love that. There's this place we ski up here is called Bogus Basin. It's like 45 minutes from our place, which is so nice. It's amazing.
Great.
But it's a nonprofit ski area and they have night skiing. And so you can, it was kind of interesting. I worked for Baron Baptiste for a couple of years and I went back and was building his podcast and doing a lot of media stuff. And I went and visited him in Park City and we went for like 2 hours. Like it was going to be a half day, but it ended up being 2 hours. And I think the price of the ticket was like $235 for the 2 hours. There wasn't even a discount for like a partial day or anything,
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's so funny, Baron. And he's like, what? I was like, well, I paid for my whole ski pass for the whole entire year at Bogus Basin for less than it was for 2 hours at Park City.
It's an investment. And actually so our boys ride and a lot of people said, I need to get the kids lessons. I need to get them up there, but it's a lifestyle. So if you yourself are not going to like commit to it, it's definitely not worth the $1,000 you're going to blow.
Totally.
More than $1,000 you're going to blow for your kids to go one day. Cause it is a skill and needs to be practiced.
Oh, but I love it though. And don't you? I mean, Kevin, I'm sure like you just like that adventure of like getting in the car and go busting through the snow and the mountains and getting up there into the wild and doing something like that. That adventure aspect of skiing is like one of my favorite things, man. It's just
the freedom of being able to do whatever you want to do while you're going on the mountain, see little things. I'm gonna go pop off that. I'm gonna go over there in those trees and getting to choose your own way down. I love that for sure. Yeah, I started skiing when I was 3 because my parents figured that the ski lessons at the resort were actually cheaper than daycare.
Oh, smart.
So you were supposed to be like 4 years old, but they're like, you're 4. So I started skiing from 4 till like 11, and then that's about the time where like skateboarding was kind of blowing up when I was growing up, and every kid was switching over to snowboarding. I was like, I want to try snowboarding. So I started then at like 11 or 12 and then been snowboarding since then. But yeah, no, I love it. We started the boys when they were very, very little.
Yeah.
Like 2 and 4, I believe.
On a driveway.
Yeah. We were at a friend's cabin. It snowed the night before. There was just enough snow, a little down the main road, slightly sloped, and strapped them in, shoved them down the hill,
Yeah.
walking along their side. So they started very, very young, and it was great. The first years are always tough, but now that we're past that like learning curve, like my oldest can do like tree runs down Black Diamonds with me, and my little guy's a little more cautious. He's more blue run cruiser, but he's getting more and more confident as we go, and probably the same level as mom now.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's great. It's something we love. Again, doing things together with the family is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and really in the theme of this podcast too, which is play hard and love big, seems like you guys got to play hard down, man. You're like, you're playing hard with the kids. You're playing hard in your approach and passion to the way that you have your business set up and you're working with clientele and putting yourself out into the communities. You really are. You exemplify that energy, man. I dig it. It's so awesome. And, the flip side of that is that when you do all those things and you really are like invested in the way that you are in life, that you start to love big. You have more gratitude for the things you have. You have more joy for the things you have and appreciation and respect for all the great things that life has given you. And I just love and I appreciate that about you too. And I couldn't be more pumped to be partnering with you and working with you. And I hope you know that if there's anything that we can do to support you, that we're here to help you.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and just a reminder, everybody, March 30th, which actually that's Katie's birthday, March 30th. She won't be there, but you should be at CrossFit Folsom Lake. They're going to put on a free class in partnership with Spotted Dog Yoga and SUP. You're going to get in there and move and have an amazing time, get a full body workout. And from what we learned from Kevin and Lauren, you're going to go out of there having a new realization of what's possible for you and your body. And I hope that you get a chance to do that. Before we sign off today, Kevin, Lauren, is there anything that you'd like to say or anything that we missed that we didn't get a chance to cover?
No, I mean, yeah, for people, if they're interested in trying it out, again, I think everyone has a pre-existing notion, or my uncle's cousin's nephew's friend tried it once and they didn't like it. Like, come check it out. So, yeah, every gym is different. So you've probably been to a restaurant you didn't enjoy very much, and then you went to another restaurant and you liked it. Gyms might be the same way. So you might have gone to a CrossFit gym somewhere else and you're like, this isn't for me. Come check us out. Give it a try and see what it's really all about.
Yeah. What was the saying that you said earlier, that there's the two things that get in the way of your ego and bad coaching?
Ego and bad coaching. Yeah. So we'll take care of the coaching for sure.
Yeah. We got the coaching is covered, man. You could tell, like, if you listen to this from start to finish, then you're in for it. So get in the show notes, click that link and go visit them over at CrossFit Folsom Lake. Hey, you two, I appreciate you taking the time to be in the studio there. It's probably kind of nice to be in there by yourself just a little bit and spend some time. But thank you so much for being a part of Play Hard and Love Big Radio, the official podcast of Spotted Dog Yoga and Stand-Up Paddleboard Company in Folsom, California. Check us out at spotteddogyoga.com. Play Hard and Love Big Radio is dedicated to bringing you the inspirational people and their stories so that you leave filled up and ready to go out and live your most purposeful and passionate life. And Lauren and Kevin being from CrossFit Folsom Lake, you sure have been inspirational for us today. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a really great rest of your day.
We will. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, thanks, everybody. See you.